Welcome back to Mac Talks Football. And after a disappointing, disastrous season, it looks like Manchester United have already started thinking about the next season. And Ruben Amorim, it seems to have gotten his first target in the bag. Matheus Cunha from Wolves. It seems like he's going to be a Manchester United player. Fabrizio Romano has to wait it. £63 million. Deal has been agreed verbally. Just the contract details are going to get sorted in the next few days, and he's going to be a Manchester United player. I mean, there are different ways to look at this deal, if I'm being very honest with you. And I'm going to start not with the footballing sense, but with the financial sense, because we all know how much of a trouble Manchester United are in financially. And where it said that they have agreed to pay the money in installments, and Wolves have sort of agreed to get the money in installments, which in my opinion, like, I really don't get why. Because Wolves could have easily gotten a 65 million upfront from any club for Cunha. The season that he had last season for Wolves, I mean, he basically dragged them from the cusp of relegation to the Premier League safety, and he was so good. He has been a really good player for Wolves, since he has joined them. But the last season was a really special one for them, for him as well. And so I really don't understand, how they have agreed on this installment stuff. We just don't know how much United are going to pay upfront. I think they have to pay a big amount for Wolves to agree. But if they don't, and if it's like a 3-year installment plan, then I think if that is the deal, I would say it is a really bad deal for Wolves. Let's be very honest. Because as I said, they could have offered, they could have accepted a big amount of money from any other club who tell them to pay majority of the amount upfront. I'm really curious to see what type of a deal it ends up being, if I'm being very honest with you. But if Wolves have agreed, that I think it is one of the biggest reasons is going to be Cunha, because he has a really a signal that he wants to go to Manchester United, which is, I sort of understand from where he's coming from. I mean, he's 28 years old. This is like his, in my opinion, the last best chance that he's gonna get to go to a so-called bigger club. I like Manchester United, even though Manchester United are in a disastrous position. Everything is going wrong at Manchester United, but it is still Manchester United. And I think the wage that his wages is gonna get are gonna be much more as compared to what he's making at Wolves. And yet again, the appeal to play for Manchester United, of course, as a player who is playing in the Premier League, you really want to go and play for Manchester United. I get all of that. It's a big club, and of course, as I say, they are going they are going through a disastrous period. But of course, they can make a comeback, and Cunha thinks he's going to be able to help that. So Wolves, in my opinion, they have if they have agreed in installments, I think Cunha is going to be a big reason, because I think the fans and the hierarchy of the board and the manager, they really want to sort of pay him back for what he did for them last season. And I think that is a really good thing for Manchester United. I mean, I really don't understand how they are doing this. Like the season that they had, it was a disaster. So I mean, Cunha coming in, I'm really interested to see. That certainly means we are already hearing there's going to be a clearance there at Manchester United. Ruben Amorim wants to get rid of at least 7 or 8 players, and I think some of them are going to be the wingers. Garnacho's name keeps on popping up, and I really think Garnacho is going to leave, and I think they're going to get a good amount of money for Garnacho, and I think that is why they are bringing Cunha. And let's be very honest, Cunha comes to this Manchester United squad, he starts every single day. Every single game Cunha starts, because of the way that he has performed and how inconsistent Manchester United players have been. And I'm really surprised that Garnacho's name is being, a talk about that he's going to leave. I mean, I love Garnacho. I would have him at Arsenal in a heartbeat. We really need a winger, a winger, and I think he would be really perfect. But it's interesting that they are thinking, they have already brought in Cunha. You have Anthony coming back, you have Rashford coming back, you have Sancho coming back. But the question is, how many of those players are going to stay at Manchester United? I don't think Anthony stays. With the way that the season that he has had at Real Betis, there's a big chance that other clubs are going to come in. That's the first thing, or otherwise Betis take him back on permanently as well. I don't think Rashford goes back to Manchester United. Sancho is the only one, because he's the only one who's not really set the world on fire at Chelsea. I think Villa would love Rashford back, and I think Rashford would like that as well. So you sort of understand why Cunha has been brought in, and as I said, he's going to improve that attacking a threat that he drastically. I think he takes a lot of load off of Bruno Fernandes to be the guy to consistently score. I think he's going to really be. He can play that second striker position as player. He can play on the wings as well. So he's going to be a really great output. He's one of those players that can win the game single-handedly, as Manchester United would know. He was crucial for Wolves against them when they defeated them this season. So it's a great move for Manchester United in terms of that they're cutting a cost and then they are bringing in a good player that is and if they get him, if they are able to pay the money in installment, I mean that is going to be a really impressive player. I mean Manchester United have been criticized for their transfer business for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 season. But if this is the way things are going on, I mean, it's a really great start. You're getting a player of, a Premier League player, proven player who can do it almost at every ground, every place, every game. He has done it for Wolves, and he's one of those. And you need characters like Cunha at the club who are willing to take responsibility. Unfortunately for Manchester United, this was the norm at Manchester United, that every player took responsibility, but now you don't really have those kind of characters. You don't really have those type of players who are willing to take responsibility, who are when the position when they are in a tough position in a game, and when the situation is not going well, and you don't really have that type of players at Manchester United who are who are willing, like, give me the ball, I'm going to do something like that. And Cunha is a player, one of those players that is always going to be like, give me the ball, I can do something, I can create some sort of a magic. And I think he's going to be in my opinion, he's going to do really good at Manchester United. Amorim, I mean, I said that they need to keep Ruben Amorim, and I think he's got the first deal that he's almost about to get over the line. I think it's a massive deal. It's a great signing in my opinion. And for Cunha as well, I mean, as I said, 28 years old. He's going to go to Manchester United. He's going to get a good amount of money. That's the first thing. And then the project now, right now, anybody goes to Manchester United, they are going with this mentality that we are going to be the reason that this big club, this great club who is going through a disaster, but we could be the ones that get remembered, who brought them back to its glory. Like, this is the mindset of most of the players or the managers that go to Manchester United right now. So Cunha is going to be thinking like that, and as he said, he doesn't really have to change countries. He just his family is already there. And he knows the league, he knows the players, he knows the opposition, most of the opposition. So it's not that much of a big move for him as well. The money is better. It's the first season there's not going to be Europe, so it's like 1 game a week. So that's going to help Manchester United, and I think it's going to help Cunha as well. The pressure of relegation is not going to be there next year. It's going to be a transitional year, so there's not going to be that much pressure on Cunha as well and on Manchester United. So I think that's another factor that he's thinking of as well. But overall, in my opinion, it's a really great deal. I think people are going to question his age. Is 28. I still think he has like 3 or 4 years, and the contract that they have offered him is 4 years as well. So what they are thinking as well. 2-3 years by down the line when he's about 30, you can see if he's still going on, so you can extend. Otherwise, they can cut their losses and he can leave. But right now, I think this is a good start for Manchester United. A really great deal. And yeah, let's see when it gets finalized, because it's transfer window, anything can happen. But as of now, it seems Matheus Cunha is gonna go to Manchester United. Let me know what you guys think of the deal, Manchester United fans. Are you excited about Cunha coming to Manchester United, or you are not really excited? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the season, before the Champions League final. So please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.